What's up, YouTube? Smooth Cat, Classic Boxing Talk here. Introduce yourselves, fellas.
It's your boy Big Cool CBT. We here.
It's your boy John G. CBT. We in there.
Cause we them boys. No, but let me see. We can start this conversation off. First off, it was a lot of fights this weekend. A lot of fights. We can start. I'll let Big Cool start talking about the PBC card from Friday.
Oh, glad you said that. Caught up on it today. Very exciting fight card. Sean Porter versus Eric. What's his last name? Bonet.
Bonet.
Bonet was a good fight. Obviously, it ended. I guess he sprained his ankle. I think in the fifth round or whatever. Then it really affected him, his movement and whatnot. And Porter probably was gonna get him out there eventually. But Bonet put up a great effort. He tagged Porter with some nice shots. Porter still, lunges in, squares himself up. He really doesn't come in behind his jab. Sometimes his jab is inconsistent. One fight it'll be there, the next it'll be missing and sporadically used. Like I said, I still believe in Porter, one of my favorite fighters. But either he needs to, you know, change himself, like far as acknowledge his mistakes, or need to get with a trainer that's going to make him at least try to shore up those things as much as possible. Because as he steps back up in competition against a Thurman or Maidana or whoever, lunging in and squaring yourself up is going to get you knocked out. And but I give him a B minus, on his performance. Given the guy was a late change replacement from Roberto Garcia. The heavyweight fight was terrific. Harper and Areola did a great job. Back and forth, fight of the year candidate. Harper let the fight slip away from him in the later rounds because he was tired, and Areola took advantage of that. He hurt him in the seventh and eighth round, I believe. In the seventh round, Areola did, and it was a great fight. But Areola still has those weight issues and the lack of dedication. It reared its ugly head, and that's why he was in a tougher fight than expected because he wasn't in shape, and he paid for it. And for the main event, Berto did what he had to do. It was a good fight. Questionable stoppage. I think they should have let Lopez continue, but his eye was swelling up bad. Berto seemed to start, get the momentum on his side, and it might have been a matter of moments before he got him out there. So overall, I get it a card a B plus.
JG.
What up? What up? What up? PBC card. I'm gonna start where you kind of left off with the Berto Josecito Lopez one. It was good to see Berto get back up on the horse. He's got a couple of bouts now where he's starting to, I guess, get back. I mean, he's not necessarily back to where he was, and his confidence will never get back to where it was. But what he did with that performance was he allowed himself to now he's going to get better fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I was just reading up on Boxing Scene today where, Victor Ortiz, said he can't wait to, whoop his ass or something like that. So, that's always going to be a fight out there that's going to be very intriguing. Josecito Lopez, once again, puts up a valiant effort. He's a tough dude, man, even though, he probably has one of the tougher resumes out there, as funny as it sounds. Even though he loses, he's always, it doesn't seem like he ducks anybody, man. He'll fight anybody. And, record doesn't show it, but a guy like that, man, he's always going to be valuable to the sport of boxing. Let's see. What was the other fight you were just talking about? No, not Porter. Not Porter. I'm going to say that for last. Yeah, Areola. That one was a little sloppy, but it was very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the type of fights that people who don't necessarily pay attention to the technique, but they want to see guys get hit, and you see the back and forth. That's the type of fight that you get. That's the type of fight that gets casual fans excited. That's what PBC was started for. You know what I'm saying? To get people back intrigued into boxing, for free. So that fight right there, it was great. Areola, to me, coming in at 262 and flabby the way he was, man. I mean, I'm not gonna say that he's given up his aspirations of being that heavyweight titleist, but I mean, it looks like Stavern just took the fire out of him. To me, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but to me, that's what I get from that. The way he came in that fight, and I mean, he used his experience. Uh, his opponent was a live dog, but he used that experience that he had in championship bouts, and he was able to win that unanimous decision. To get on the Porter, and I'm gonna wrap this up. I thought that Bonet came in and did a very good job. You know what I'm saying? Like getting the fight on in less than a week's notice, coming in there, and I thought that Porter, not shorter. I think that Porter did a good job of, just being ready for anything. Because I mean, the fact that Garcia, just pulled out the way that he did, and Porter stepping in and taking the fight just to stay active, I thought that was a good thing, and he showed that if he needs to on the fly, he can come up with a victory, adjust when needs to, especially when you don't have enough time to game plan for a guy like that. So, and I mean, I would love to see what may have happened if Bonet had a little bit more time, but I mean, Porter's body attack was just relentless, man, and I mean, he may have reached his ceiling, like Jarrell was talking about, as far as his trainer, but I mean, yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, Porter's only going to get better fights. So the book isn't finished on Porter at this point.
Okay, I feel in regards with Sean Porter that in his fight, I feel Bonet came out, and I mean Porter was winning. Was winning the majority of the rounds, but I feel that Bonet was boxing well, and he was catching Porter with some nice counter shots that Porter was like walking right into him. Now, the only thing I'll say is, overall, to me, Porter showed me that from the Kell Brook fight to this fight, he looked like he's stuck in neutral because he came out with the same type game plan. Oh, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna get an early knockout. That's just how he came out, and he was winging a lot of shots. Don't get me wrong. Now the way he pressed him and was hitting his body, I was impressed with that. But overall, I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all. I think Sean Porter has reached his. I think he has reached his ceiling. I really do. I think that's basically. I think that's basically it for him. But to touch on Areola fight, honestly, it was a solid fight. But there is no way in hell that fight should have went past that first round after the way Areola started. There was no way Areola blew that. He potentially could have lost that fight because I felt that fight was a lot closer than the judges had. I felt it was a lot closer, but like I say, overall Areola choked because Areola should have got him out there in the first round from what I saw. And with the main event with Berto and Lopez. Lopez in his last fight didn't look too good. He didn't. So I was thinking the reason why he was chosen was to make Berto was to be another confidence building type fight for Berto. So with that said, he had the type of fight he needed. He won, and hopefully, as JG mentioned earlier, hopefully he's on to this fight with the Victor Ortiz 2 rematch because both of them, they're like, honestly, Berto's been doing better than Victor Ortiz of late. I think Berto's is like 2-3 or 2-4 in his last 6 fights, and Victor Ortiz is 1-5 in his last 6 fights. So
that's not saying much.
right. but I mean, he doing better. So I mean, you gotta look at it that way.
You gotta find a positive.
Hey, you know I'm the ultimate optimist, so I gotta come up with something. But overall, like I say, the overall card, I give it a B plus. I mean, not to, it's good to have boxing back on network television. I mean, I enjoy that part of it. The only part about boxing on network television I can't stand is, I mean, I actually want to hear what the trainers are saying to the fighters, and you can't hear that because it's always a commercial.
All right.
So the commercials kill it for me.
Back to Porter real quick. When you said he reached his ceiling, I'm
I
not
think
gonna
he's reached
fully
his ceiling.
I'm not gonna fully disagree with that. But if you look at what he has and he can bring to the overall fight, he has fast hands, he has good power. You know what I'm saying? He's shown that he has a very good jab when he uses it. He has good lateral movement, but for whatever reason it's installed in his mind that he's a seek and destroy fighter, which he can be. But it's guys that in his division that can neutralize that and just stop that, you know what I'm saying, with one punch. Maidana, you know what I'm saying, Thurman, who else you got? Hell, Berto could possibly stop him too. Berto can punch, you know what I'm saying. It's guys that he's gonna have to fight smart against.
I agree.
And I just think that he needs a new trainer, man. He got that same thing with Devin Alexander. You know, the same voice in your head for so long, it works. But after a while, once you start to step up in competition and you start to have difficult, fights and start to lose those fights, you got to start questioning. Is there somebody else out there that can show me a different way to be successful, to reach my full potential? I don't think that he's hit his ceiling, but he's close. But he doesn't have to lunge in, man. He doesn't have to lunge in. He doesn't have to square himself up. But that's where you need a teacher that can come and show him what he's doing wrong on film, you know what I'm saying, and show him a different technique to, attack his opponent. But like I said, I'm high on Porter. And one thing I don't like about the PBC, thing, I let the fighters be themselves, come out with their entourage and the music and just be.
Right, exactly.
I don't care about the commercial so much. I do like to hear what the trainer instructions are, but I don't really care too much. And just let Antonio Tarver talk, man, because them other two dudes, man. I don't know what they were talking about Friday night, but like I said, there's no complaints. I love free boxing on network television, and that's my two cents on Porter.
I'm gonna say it like this in regards with Porter. What I continue to see with him, and I've been saying that ever since he fought who's that, Paulie. I say that okay, he going to the fight. It's cool to be aggressive. It's cool to have that pit bull style. The thing with Porter is he got hit with so many. I mean, he got hit with a lot of shots last night. I mean, not Friday. He got hit with a good amount of shots. And the thing is, if Bonet had any type of power, like if he was a huge puncher, I think Sean Porter would have got knocked out Friday if Bonet was a huge puncher. And I'll say this in regards with Ken Porter. Ken Porter, I mean, that's his father and all, but he's not showing him anything new. It's like it's kind of like, I mean, no disrespect to Paul Williams' trainer, but it's kind of like how he was a couple of years ago.
George Peterson.
George Peterson. It's like how he was with Paul Williams. He would tell Paul Williams, okay, go in there, keep throwing punches and throw more punches and throw uppercuts. And then you looking and he constantly getting countered. You supposed to have something different, but he just kept coming. Keep throwing punches. Keep throwing. Damn it! I mean, if you getting countered every time, why am I keep? You throw punches intelligently. You gotta kind of mix it up. Go up, top, down, low, to the chest, to the sternum, hit the body. I mean, it's like trainers like that. It's like they lack the ability to adapt and fight.
But see, but also I put the onus on the fighter too, on the fighter as well.
No, it's them.
because you got to look at yourself and you got to review your performances and be like, damn, this is not working. Either I can get some outside help or whatever it is, or try to do it myself or whatever. Some guys can self teach themselves how to do certain things. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Some guys need a trainer. Like I believe Paul Williams needed somebody that can actually show him. You know what I'm saying? What needed to be done, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because however you get it, long as you get it, that's the most important thing. But it's a loyalty, man, in the boxing game is good to a certain extent when you're doing your business, but when you got the trainer, when you got a trainer that's kind of holding you back, and you the one taking the punches, you got to start to reconsider your options and make that move.
I'll say this. I'll tell you another trainer who I think should be on his way out. Canelo Alvarez trainer. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, Canelo Alvarez has been successful. 44 of the 46 times he's fought, he had a draw and a loss to Mayweather. But I mean, there is no way in hell Canelo Alvarez should have as much problems as he has cutting off the ring. He should not have those problems.
Because he did good against Trout, but his levels to be
Trout wasn't moving as much.
But he still did shock a lot of people.
He did.
And also, with the Lara fight, you can understand why he was having troubles in that fight. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, Canelo carrying that trainer, and there's a lot of more fighters that's carrying their trainers. But
yep.
I don't know what you think about it, JG.
I mean, I agree. I think that I think a new trainer for Canelo could probably take him from B to A status. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that Canelo, he does put his punches together at certain times where you're just like, wow, man, he should let his hands go a little bit more. That's why I think another trainer might be better, because I don't think that Canelo throws as many punches as he should. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Porter, going back to Porter, need the new trainer. I think that part of the reason that he's reached his ceiling, to me, like, I didn't disagree with what you were saying, Mike. Part of what I think is his limitations, him being a little bit smaller, having shorter arms, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that kind of, plays a part too in that. So if he were to get a new trainer, who out there could help him get over the limitations factor?
Virgil Hunter. Virgil Hunter, I think, can help him. I think Abel Sanchez can help him as well.
I think Barry. What about Barry Hunter? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Barry too. Because Barry expects a lot from his fighters, and for some reason, as we saw with Lundy and Delorme, in that fight, everything Barry was telling him to do, it was like Lundy. It's like Lundy was a puppet. I'm not in a bad way, but he was like, okay, go in there, throw the right uppercut, shoot a jab, go to the body, then pivot, and he would do it exactly how he told him to do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I think Barry Hunter don't get enough credit as he deserves for being a top trainer, and I think that would be a good matchup with Porter and Barry Hunter, because Hunter expects nothing but greatness from his fighters, while also teaching technique and actually having an eye for what the opponent is doing and putting his fighters in position to win. So I think it'll be a good matchup. I mean, a good relationship.
Hey, listen to this real quick. This is Porter.
You're seizing the boy.
Did you hear it? Y'all didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it.
I couldn't hear that.
He said, it's the dinosaur off the movie. He said, I have big head and little arms.
Crazy.
No, but like I said, overall, solid card. What's y'all take on Antoine Douglas, the middleweight off the Showbox card on Friday?
I did not see that one. I was at work.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either, brother.
I'll say this: he did a hell of a job. He put a beating on another unbeaten fighter, and he remained unbeaten. He's definitely a prospect to be looking out for. But to fast forward to Saturday, and I'll let JG start this one with the best fight of the night: Chalumba versus Lakasovic. Oh, I forgot. I can't think of his last name. Go ahead, JG. Talk about the best fight of the night.
My bad, man. I wasn't even paying attention, dog. What was you saying?
The Chalimba versus Lekowicz fight, the best fight of the night.
What was that last night?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Saturday.
Yeah, last night, dog. I didn't catch very much. Last night the only fight that I caught was the Pascal Kovalev fight because my buddy came in from Texas, so I'm gonna have to let y'all lead with that one because I didn't catch. I still have to catch up on fights. I'm
Okay.
still I'm still party lagged right now. I got in at 7 in the morning.
All right. Big cool.
I watched the fight, but I'm gonna be honest. I was
You was what? Big cool. Big cool is out for right now. He's experiencing technical difficulties, but I'll try to finish that statement for him. I watched the fight, and I mean, I'm a boxing fan, boxing purist by all means, but that fight was literally pushing me to go to sleep, and I fought as hard as I could. I had to actually get up and go get a hot cup of water and drink it as hot as it could be to stay woke because that fight was killing me. It really was. But overall, I feel Chilimba was basically dominant in that fight. He did. I felt the fight should have been, even though Chilimba isn't a big puncher, he was landing so many flush, hard shots that I felt the corner should have stopped it. The father threatened him multiple times about how he was going to stop the fight, but he didn't stop it. I felt he should have stopped it. Like, when it was to the point where only thing he was doing was leaning on the ropes, and Chilimba was landing combos, and then Chilimba would just stand still, land his combo, then stop, then land another combo and stop. And he just would sit there and throw one shot out of getting hit with like 8 out of 12. I thought his father. I thought they should have stopped that fight.
yeah. I'm back. I'm back. My bad. I lost connection.
It's all good. The users, I mean, the viewers understand.
But yeah. Pretty much. What's his name, man? To start with a C.
Chalimba.
Chalimba was the better fighter. He was more versatile. The other guy couldn't make adjustments. He wasn't throwing enough punches. It was times in the fight that Chalimba could have got him out there if he pressed on the gas more. He's not a big puncher, you know what I'm saying? So you wasn't really expecting a KO. Like I said, Chalimba's a good fighter. He's a perennial top 10 ranked light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Um, Very solid fighter. And the other guy, he just wasn't ready for this stage, and he got outboxed, outworked, outfought, and good performance in a boring fight for Chilemba. And you know, wasn't his fault. Other guys just wasn't on his level, but
Right.
it was a boring fight.
Absolutely.
I
Um.
don't. I don't watch it. I'm not gonna watch the replay either.
All right. The next fight. Steve USSR Cunningham versus Dennis Glazov. Big cool. I noticed. I noticed you had a lot to say about this one
Yeah,
beforehand. So
Rod,
what's your take?
they robbed Cunningham, man. It was a close, but it was a clear unanimous decision for him. You know what I'm saying? I can see you scoring an 8-4, 7-5 because
Mm,
Glasgow did kind of close the gap a little bit in the later rounds. But Steve outboxed him early. He won, I guess, 2 or 3 of the middle rounds, won a couple of the late rounds, in my opinion. And he got hurt a couple times in that fight by Glasgow. I admit that, but like I said, he was the busy guy, threw more punches. When he threw, he was more effective than Glasgow at pretty much the whole fight. Even though he was hurt, Glasgow was winded. Cunningham did what he was supposed to do, and the judges said, "No, you did not do that." Gave a unanimous decision victory over Cunningham. Like, it's crazy how Cunningham can clearly win a fight but still get robbed. If you go back to the rematch with Adamant, he won that fight in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, and it's just messed up that he can't get a win. You know what I'm
A fair
saying?
shake.
Or a decision to go his way. Put it like that. I'm
Right.
tongue twisted, but like I said, it wasn't as bad a fight as everybody was saying it was, but it wasn't what you expect to hear. I mean, expect to see from a Steve Cunningham fight. But it was a decent fight, and I thought he clearly won a close but clear unanimous decision.
Okay. Me, honestly, when I was looking at that fight, I was saying the whole time. I think I actually said it in the group message. I was saying like Steve Cunningham is kind of like how Mauricio Herrera is. He's one of those fighters where he's dangerous for certain guys. So what they'll do to further push a guy's career, they'll give him a robbery type win over him, and then so what they basically doing, they eliminate fighters with a certain amount of losses. So Steve Cunningham is basically on the verge of being on that list where, I mean, it's fights he's not actually losing, but they're doing whatever they can to get him out of the limelight. Oh yeah, that's the guy with 8 losses. Yeah, push him to the side. He's nobody, and just push him to the side. And then only how he'll get a chance to shine is to go up against a younger talented heavyweight, and he has to knock him out. Because if he don't knock him out, it's like they're not going to give him a decision. Because last night I scored that fight 8 rounds to 4 for Cunningham. And I don't see how they say Glasgow won that fight. I really don't. Maybe I missed something, but I don't think Glasgow won that fight at all. I think it was a clear 116, 112.
You know what? What I just don't understand why fighters like Herrera, Lundy, uh, Cunningham, and other fighters just can't get a
Clint
victory.
Johnson,
It's a Philly thing. I think it's a Philly thing. Them all Philly fighters.
yeah,
I don't know what it is about it, but I just think that I don't know. I don't think it's a lot of fighters. Glazov is not a fighter. No fighter is worth somebody robbing for. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to sound crazy or whatever, but if you're gonna do it, you can never understand it. But it's certain fighters you can see why. Okay, I see why they gave that guy the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But Glazkov don't look like a guy that's gonna be a heavyweight champion, gonna be doing nothing that you can say, okay, I see why they gave him the close rounds to him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's just another contender waiting to get knocked out by Vladimir Klitschko or Deontay Wilder. Not to disrespect him, though.
right. Um, like I say, overall, it was a good fight. I feel Steve Cunningham put up a solid performance, and his performance went by the wayside because of those individuals who sit ringside, who for some reason, I mean, uh, this is what I want to try to understand. First and foremost, first off, for all the judges, when you render a decision that is so atrocious that I mean that it gets a feedback, you need to be examined, and they need to actually. I think this is what actually needs to happen. I think they need to go into your phone records and see who you were talking to before the fight, because I mean some of these decisions you looking. I mean I don't. I literally do not see how anybody had Glasgow winning more than 4 rounds. I can't see it. I didn't. He did not win 4 rounds to me. I mean, he won 4 rounds. He didn't win more than 4 rounds. But like I say,
Hey,
overall, yet again, another black eye for boxing, where a fighter goes in, works hard as hell, goes through training camp, have all this time away from their family, their kids, their wives, and all this, just to be robbed. That's
especially with Cunningham going through. You know what I'm saying? Especially
exactly
what he going through with his dog.
Right.
and stuff like that, man.
But, ladies
That's the way
and
about it.
gentlemen, time for the main event of the fights. You
Fight,
have
fight.
Sergey the Crusher Kovalev versus
Kovalev,
Jean Pascal.
Pascal. You know you got to double up that. You got to double up the last name twice.
All right. Start us off, JG.
Hey, look, man. This is the fight that I actually got to see last night when my boy came in from Texas, man. And you know what? Coming into the fight, man, I was like, man, Kovalev is just going to destroy Pascal. He's going to destroy him. He's going to destroy him. He's going to get him out of there early. And at some point in the third round, it very well looked like that was going to happen. And I think right at the end of the round, right at the end of the round, Pascal was real hurt. Like he damn near went through the ropes. The ropes probably saved him because if there was no ropes right there, it probably would have been knockout of the year.
Yeah.
Probably would have been knockout of the year. He would have fell on his face.
Mm-hmm.
So that at the time the bell saved him. He really didn't have his legs the rest of the fight. But what I will tell you is, man, look, if you question this man's heart after this fight, you need to be re-examined because Pascal came back something serious, man. And you know what? This fight probably could have been stopped a little bit earlier. I think it was the fourth round where Kovalev threw probably about 20 punches and Pascal didn't throw anything. But he finished that round off very strong. And it carried over into the fifth and the sixth round. And, I mean, what I learned last night is that if Pascal were to fight a little bit smarter, put his punches together a little bit better, actually, use to his advantage where he pushed Kovalev backwards, he had a shot to win that fight. And I think that if they were to fight in a rematch, if he can somehow get past getting hurt early, he might be able to beat Kovalev. Like I was very shocked at some of the stuff that I saw. But what I will say is though, both men came in, they jabbed well. The jab worked very well for Kovalev, especially to the body. It set up a lot of shots for him later on. And I thought Kovalev had a very good performance too. Is there such thing as having two guys that just perform well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought happened. I thought both men fought well, and what I did think is that Pascal probably showed that he probably had the closest shot of beating him of the guys at 175 right now. That's what I think. I would love to see a rematch.
Be cool.
Like I echoed JG's sentiments about the rematch. I definitely would love to see a rematch. It was a terrific fight, even though it might seem one-sided early on in the first 4 rounds. Pascal, he's a talented fighter. We all know his shortcomings. You know, his stamina, his tendency to be wild and reckless at times. You know, and like I said, that's what makes him exciting. You know, he has the heart of a fighter, heart of a champion, and he pushed Kovalev to the limit like no other that we've seen, other than maybe, you know, I guess early in his career when he was knocked down by Darnell Boone. But like I said, if like JG said and like I said in my video last night, if Pascal wasn't so reckless and took his time and used his jab more to set up his punches, he could have really got Kovalev out of there. Because in the 5th round, he had him shooken up when he had him on the ropes. But he just wouldn't give himself the opportunity, you know, to really land the clean shots because he was just winging like a crazy man in there, which made for an exciting fight. And Kovalev, on his part, his jab was tremendous last night. You know, his jab was powerful, and he used it to keep it at a good distance, and confuse Pascal and frustrate him. Being the taller man, he fought like a taller man should fight, behind the jab, and you know, at a good distance. He landed a beautiful left hook at the end of the 3rd round when he caught Pascal going backwards with his hands down, which is a big no-no. Basically, chin was up as well, and then he followed it up with a huge right hand that nearly ended the fight for Pascal. But Pascal showed the heart of a champion. He bounced back somehow, and he won 2 rounds, and did what he had to do, and he deserved a rematch. He showed he's Canadians, real champion. You know what I'm saying? Even though he doesn't have a title, and I like to see a rematch if Stevenson won't step up to the plate and fight fight Kovalev next.
Okay, I'll say this. What I took from that fight, I took that if Jean Pascal would have continued with his body attack, because I don't know if I'm the only one noticed this, but I noticed when he went to Kovalev's body, Kovalev actually like he shot back kind of quick, and on one of the shots, it's like he actually came off his feet and hurried up and bagged up. I'm not saying he was necessary, like he hurt him real bad, but he was feeling those shots, and he also caught Kovalev with a overhand right when Kovalev was trying to land a left hook, and he actually shook him up a little bit. But what I will say is, I feel that if Pascal would have sustained a body attack, if he would have used the jab more, and also if he would have used his athleticism, kind of like how I was mentioning on the breakdown video, I feel he could have did a lot better. But I mean, honestly, the fight it almost went similar to how I expected it. I mean, originally I had called for an 8th round TKO, and then some gave me the thought like I got a feeling it's gonna be 9, so I called for the 9th round TKO, and it ended up being the 8th round TKO. But overall, I just say Pascal put on a hell of a performance, and Sergey Kovalev put on a hell of a performance too. The main thing that is like in the case of Kovalev, Kovalev showed he showed some vulnerabilities, as people say, but I won't say he showed that he's just any and everybody can beat him. I'm not gonna go that far, because I mean the type of power that man possesses is, I mean, it's like unreal, and that power continuously, the power, his skill set. I'll say it like this: when I look at Sergey Kovalev is a top-notch fighter, and somebody ran this comparison by me, actually had me thinking, saying that Sergey Kovalev put them in the mind of Joe Calzaghe a little bit. But
I saw that last night. I
just
saw
with
that
more
last
power.
night too.
I
I saw
seen
it
it.
last night too. I did.
And
The
so
way he
when
moved around, used
right,
that jab, yeah, he did. Yep.
and you know what? And I promise you, when I saw that comparison, I said to myself, like, you know what? He does, but he's like a Joe Calzaghe with elite knockout power. And overall, like I say, dude, he just, I mean, I was impressed with his fortitude, because some of the shots he got hit with, I'm pretty sure could have damn near dropped any and everybody. And Pascal, I mean, I can't say enough for him in that 3rd round, because I kid you not, when I saw it, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I thought
But
he was over, dude. I had to stand up and watch the fight from that
right.
moment on. No, I was sitting down the first 2 rounds. After that 3rd round, I stood up and didn't sit down at all. I was
Oh
like, ooh.
man.
But
But I'll say it like this: the beginning of the 4th round, I said to myself, I said, you know what? I know Pascal's still hurt, but if he kind of like move around, catch his legs back, he could possibly catch Kovalev coming in with something. And I kid you not, he caught Kovalev with a nice left hook. Then he caught him with a straight right hand. I'm like, oh,
he caught him
okay,
with both punches throughout the fight. But
he
hey,
did.
another thing that what you say, what does Andre Ward say about facing the power puncher? Is that it's best to go at him. And
Right.
Pascal kind of proved that a little bit. He kind of proved that a little bit. After he tasted that, after you taste that power, it's kind of easy to get ballsy. You know what I'm saying? And go after the power puncher. And if at times in that fight, Pascal showed that, you know what, I felt his power. It is what it is. But when he started to go forward and press Kovalev, that's when he started to have a little more success, in landing. Obviously, he countered him too, but when he started to press him and get him on the ropes, that's when Kovalev looked so, uncomfortable, on the ropes. And I just think for a future matchup, if he faces Andre Ward, that's something to keep in eye. This fight, particular, at times when Pascal was having his success, that maybe it's not always bad, a bad idea to chase down the power puncher instead of let them come to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something I picked up on.
I'll say this, and okay, I know in the Edwin Rodriguez fight, they basically was like in a tunnel. But if you look at when he was fighting Arthur Abraham, the early half of that fight, he wasn't doing that. When Abraham would hit him with a shot, he got on his toes
I didn't
and
want
would
to make.
move around.
I
So
was
I
just, I
mean,
was just, I was just making.
go ahead.
I was just, I wasn't like trying to turn it into a Ward, Koval. I was just saying like you just maybe if they fight, Ward always says, go to the power puncher. Just something what Pascal did similar, But I feel what you're saying, but yeah, I wasn't really trying to start that debate up because Ward haven't really fought in a good minute. I was just saying that it against Kovalev is something that you you wouldn't necessarily be quick to reject that idea of because he looked uncomfortable fighting off the ropes when he was pressured by Pascal. But finish what you were saying.
But like I say, overall with Kovalev, I'm looking forward to potentially seeing him versus Stevenson. Stevenson, quote unquote, told from Bernard Hopkins told him that he will fight Kovalev. So we'll see how they go. But if he don't fight Kovalev, I mean, I'm interested in seeing a rematch with Pascal, and I'm also interested in seeing Andre Ward versus Kovalev. And I mean, I know more than likely I'm gonna catch flack. Well, why should Ward have to fight Kovalev? I mean,
Don't do it.
let's just be honest, man. I mean, he's only. I mean, I'm gonna kind of use the same. No, I ain't gonna get into that.
Don't
But
do it.
I would definitely, I would love to see that fight sometime down the line. They're only a weight class apart. I would love to see it
But I
sometime
don't
down the
think you
line
catch flack.
when both guys are ready. I would love to see it.
I don't think you catch flack about saying that Ward should fight Kovalev because that's the natural. Now, if you saying he should fight him off top, then yeah. But the natural progression of going to light heavyweight is maybe you fight Pascal first, then you fight Kovalev next because Stevenson is not with HBO. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how they will work that out. So I don't think now if you was to say he should fight him right now, coming back off a long layoff, yeah, they'd be like, come on, Mike, now let's be more fair. But after he fight his tune up and then fight Pascal, if he decides to move up, after that, let's get Kovalev and Ward in the ring. But like I said, man, it's time to put up a shut up for Ward when he come back.
Absolutely. But okay. We're gonna fast forward a bit to in 2 weeks' time. We're not gonna necessarily give predictions or nothing. Just talk about these early fights and kind of what you expect. Gary Russell versus Johnny Gomez. What do you expect, JG?
I thought it was Gonzalez.
Yeah, it
I
is.
did say Gonzalez.
Well, what do I expect? I don't know. I expected. You wrote an article similar where you talked about styles clash.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a styles clash. You're going to get pressure versus boxer. So we're going to see which one gives in. And this is another chance for Gary Russell to prove that he's a top fighter. The last time that he got this chance against Lomachenko, he kind of blew it. You know what I'm saying? So this is number 2 opportunity for him to prove that he is the man. So I look forward to it. Right now, I'm not gonna, we're not gonna make predictions, but I'm just gonna leave it at it's gonna be a very interesting styles clash, and something's gonna have to give that night.
You cool?
Pretty much what JG said, man. This styles it's a style clash. You got the speedster and the boxer, and Russell, and you got the OG veteran punching power punching champion and Johnny Gonzalez. And either he gonna bust them pipes or Russell gonna unlock the code or whatever. So we'll see in a couple weeks. And in turn, I know you about to say something about Vance Martirosyan and
Not yet.
Jamil.
Not yet.
Oh yeah. My bad. You got to give your take on it. My fault. Jumping forward. But go ahead.
And I'm a kind of still the last line from my article and what JG was saying in my Sylvester the Cat voice. Oh, suffering succotash. What a styles clash. No, but overall, I think this is one of those fights where first off we're gonna see what type of chin Gary Russell had. I mean, he looked to have a chin against Lomachenko because Lomachenko was hitting him with some nice shots, but we're gonna really see what type of chin he has going up against Johnny Gonzalez, who's a big puncher. Excuse me for butchering your name earlier. And for Johnny Gonzalez, I want to see can he deal with that speed, because as we know, Gary Russell Jr. is one of the fastest fighters in boxing today. True, he does have little arms, so he's not.
I knew he was going to say that.
But he does have little arms, and he's not able to get off the combinations exactly like he wants all the time. But I mean, with the type of speed he has, he's able to make up for the lack of arm length with his speed. So I want to see how Gonzalez deal with that speed. And overall, I'm expecting a solid fight. Like I said, we're not giving winners today. But I'm going to let Big Cool start it off about Vanes Martirosyan and Jermell Charlo.
Yeah, about that fight. I think that's gonna be closer than what people think. I'm not picking nothing right now, but thinking about what Vance Martirosyan, brings to the table, he can make that fight a lot tougher than people are expecting. But he also can end up getting whitewashed because Jermell Charlo is a highly talented fighter. But Charlie Ota, what's his name? Ota.
Yeah, Charlie Ota. Yeah, Charlie Ota.
He dropped Jermell, right?
Right.
And I think that Vance Martirosyan got the sneaky speed and timing that he can catch, Jermell in the exchange if he can get him to exchange. And put it like that, I think his power is one thing you need to pay attention to because he's not gonna outbox Jermell. So, just watch out for his power and not saying that Jermell has a weak chin, but it's shown he can be put down. So just keep that in mind when watching the fight come March 28th, but I ain't gonna say no, but Jermell is the favorite, put it like that. But I think Vance Martirosyan is a live dog in this fight.
Okay. John G.
I'm gonna agree, and people probably watching this probably like, man, these dudes agree too much. But you know what? Great minds think alike. So that's what I'm gonna leave it at. And I think that this is interesting because the one thing that Vanes has an advantage over is I would say he has an experience factor a little bit over Jermell in this because Jermell may not be the best guy that he's fought, but at this point, Jermell, this is going to be a step up for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, yeah, Jermell, could be fighting for a championship, but like Boo Boo or Poo Poo or whatever you want to call it said pretty much, this is a high risk fight for him. So, I mean, he's going to have to come with his A game. I mean, that's one advantage I see for Van Ness. But I mean, other than that, man, look, this is gonna be I think it's gonna be a really close fight. I can't say that it's gonna be a whitewash for either one of these guys. I think that this might be one of those fights that comes down to the championship rounds. Is this gonna be 12 rounds? It's gonna be 12, right?
I think it's
Yeah,
10.
it's
I
12.
think
I
it's
think
10.
it should be 12. If it's not 10, I mean, if it's not 12.
Well, either way, I think that I could see it going even into the last 2 rounds, and whoever is adapted, whoever's adapted to whoever's style the best, will probably win. So that's what I think about that fight. Obviously, I think the speed goes to Jamel. A little bit of sneaky power goes to Vanis. So I mean, that's gonna be an intriguing fight, man. I can't wait to break that down a little bit more and give a way better assessment when we do the hangout next week.
Yeah, definitely,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Hey, I can say this now. I'm literally sitting here. I'm so anxious to do this, to do the breakdown video for this fight. I even was asking, should I do it today? That's how anxious I am for it. But overall, I think it's one of those type of fights where you get the guy who's fought a lot of good solid opposition. Then you get the upcoming who's fought some good guys, not necessarily solid, but fought some good guys and looked impressive in doing it. And you get those two guys in the ring and how those styles clash. Not to be cliche and keep saying it, but to have those styles clash. It's an overall interesting fight because, like you said, you got Vanis, who and past fights he showed the ability to box and he shows the ability to bang, but of late he's become quite a bit of a brawler of late. So with that being said, it'll be interesting to see if his pressure can potentially get to Jermell Charlo and potentially upset the apple cart. But on the flip side, it'll also be interesting to see if how Vanis deals with a guy with that type of lateral movement because he wasn't doing too well against Arislan Lara's movement. And as we all know, Arislan Lara has basically took the Charlos under his wing, and he's been working with them for a while. So with that said, Jamel Charlo, highly skilled, solid fighter, top notch fighter in my opinion. I'm expecting a great performance, and may the best man win.
We already know who you picking, Mike.
Uh, But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we're not gonna hold you too much longer today.
Well, hold on. Hey, let me say one closing note before we close out. This is to all of the people watching right now, to all the people who will watch tomorrow or who will watch later on in the week. You know what? We always, as boxing fans, claim that boxing outlets and boxing pages or forums don't have enough real information out there. Well, you know what? That's what we're giving you right now. Us as CBT, we're giving you the lowdown. We're giving you the unbiased or the most unbiased stuff out there. And I appreciate everybody who is tuning in and pretty much plugging in. But for those asking for it, it's right here. Keep tuning in. We're gonna keep bringing that for you. It's here. And that's what I'm gonna leave it at.
What JG
I,
said,
I
man.
second that emotion.
I third that, but also, please watch the videos, man. If you truly support us like you say you do, watch the video, pay attention to the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment, and tell us what you like about the video. You don't even have to hit the thumbs up. If you disagree, hit the thumbs down. but at least give us some feedback so we can know where we need to improve or other topics we need to touch on so we can, please our fans. Don't just go quiet and come off the top with some crazy nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Just support us, and we're gonna keep providing y'all with quality interviews, quality hangouts, breakdown videos, unbiased boxing talk. Period. So just be true to us, and we be true to y'all.
And we're out.